What's going on, guys? I'm going to do a quick summary here of what the manager should do in a store, and I think we've talked about this. Here it is. The manager produces something very important in a shop that makes all the money. You guys already know speed equals to sales, and sales fixes everything. And speed comes from good culture, and culture comes from leadership and manager. And honestly, what happens is this whole thing we call is pressure. And how the manager produces pressure is he stays in bay number 1. This is the manager right here. He's helping look at all the cars, and then he's sending this ticket from the front. When the customer writes up the car, right? When the customer comes in and this guy up here writes up the car, whether it's the service advisor or the parts manager, the manager gets in there and gets that ticket to bay number 1 as quickly as possible, right? This is 10 minutes. And then that ticket gets to the service advisor and he gets sold as quickly as possible. And the further we get away from broken cars, the less money we make. And by the way, this whole thing is called pressure, right? He is producing pressure because he has the authority to produce that pressure. And that ticket goes back and forth from the front office, right? It has money on it. And it goes from the front counter to the bay to sold as quickly as possible. That is what the manager does. That is what produces pressure. And whenever you have a store where the pressure is down, when you don't have speed, guess whose fault that is? Equals the manager is not doing his job. He's doing anything but the most important thing. This is the most important part of a manager. That is why managers get paid what they do, because they are able to connect this whole process. It's number 1 manager job. Now, they also get to dispatch it and get the parts ordered. And in summary, really what we want to do is we want to get that car in, inspected, sold, and parts ordered. And this has to be done fast. Very, very fast. This is what pressure is. And I will end with this. Whenever this goes down, it isn't usually, sometimes in some cases, it's not because the car's coming in, but 90% of the cases, at least in our stores, when this all goes down, the pressure, it's not because the techs aren't doing their job, it's because the front office is not doing their job. There's no pressure in the front office. And when that happens, what do you think happens to speed? Speed goes down, sales go down, and then guess what? Everyone thinks the whole store is broken. And that's all because of this pressure thing. So once again, guys, you want to make sure that your speed is up. Let that manager get in bay number 1 and get him close to the cars. Bay number 1 is from now on the manager's office. He should be posted up there looking at cars so that we can get some sales in. I hope this helps. Once again, the manager produces pressure. That's what moves the ticket. That's what gets that ball across the line. Do not let your manager sit in the office. Let him bounce around between the bay number 1 and the command room. Front counter, bay number 1, command room. And the faster you can do this cycle, the more the pressure builds, the more the sales build, and the more you'll have things fixed and get that ball from in, inspected, sold, ordered, and get it done. Thank you so much, guys.